Hello, everybody. Special YouTube Live. Celebration Church is 10 years old. I mean, exactly 10 years old today. So, today is the 11th of November 2022. And on the 11th of November 2012, this church started. That Sunday morning, and few of us gathered together. you know, um, I preached from Romans chapter 5, the gift of righteousness. So I'm fortunate not to be one of those people who discovered, the message of the gospel along the line and had to change. We were the one gospel preachers. That's how we started the ministry. And it's really nostalgic. I just want to talk about it. Um, In fact, if by any chance there's any one of you who was there from the beginning, I don't mean 5 years, I don't mean 8 years, I mean 10. Just let me know if there's any such person listening to me now. Um, yeah, Judip is live right now. Judip used to be one of our choir leaders. Some of you don't know that Judip actually led the choir at some point, or at least he was one of the key people. Yeah, and it's been quite a time. I'm full of gratitude to the Lord. It's very emotional. It's also very exhausting. I don't know. My wife asked me, "How do you feel?" And amongst the many things I said, when I look back and think of all the work, I mean, every single thing that we've had to do, I just feel I just become more aware of the amount of work that it has taken. Some of you only see the half of it, but it has taken a lot. That I assure you, But God has been really truly faithful, and we are grateful to Him. You know what? After this video, I just want you to share your Celebration Church experience or testimony in the comments and get people to be inspired, to be blessed, by it. I think this is a good opportunity to share your Celebration Church story. All right. Also, if you are new to this channel, you still haven't subscribed, you see, the thing about the YouTube algorithm is that you can even continue to see the videos of a channel that you have not subscribed to, even though you engage with the channel often, which is why they show you often. So I want you to show your support by just clicking that button. It will go a long way. All right. So I just want to share thoughts with you. You see, 10 years. What is my meditation? In few minutes, because we have a ministers conference to prepare for tomorrow, I just want to say that bravery is definitely a habit. A lot of people don't know that bravery is a habit, and when you take smaller steps, you get more brave. You develop the habit of bravery. Some people are habitually timid. Some people are habitually nonchalant. It's something you can break out of. And as long as you are habitually nonchalant or habitually timid, God can't do much with you. You might have a great destiny. You can have a great vision from God, but God cannot do much with you until you break away from that mold. And you might have heard me say it often. Every time God wanted to use someone, He first had to start with renewing their mind, reprogramming their mind, painting a picture in their mind, telling Jeremiah, "Say not that you are a child." All right? Because I'm going to make you a prophet, and all the words that I declare to you, you will declare to the people. He's telling Moses, even if you're a stammerer, look beyond your limitation. I'm going to use you. He's telling Abraham, look at the stars. As many stars as you can count, that's the number of children I'm going to give you. So that tells you, the power of imagery. You have to imagine possibility. All right. And then you have to break away from that habit of talking and not doing. It's a habit to break out of. The reason I'm saying it is because I know without a shadow of doubt that our ministry is destined to challenge others, to spur others to act. And that's why I'm saying this. So you have to break out of this habit of talking and not doing. So fear is a habit also. Fear is a habit. First and foremost, to a large extent, fear is learned. Children are born fearless. They want to touch fire, they want to jump from heights, and all of that. And as time goes on, in our way, in our sincere attempts to protect them, sometimes we go overboard and we instill in them a culture of fear. Come on, every African child knows what I'm talking about. When we even begin to say things like "Ojuju," I remember when someone tried to say, "Oh, something scary is there." He was trying to tell my daughter, "Something scary is there. Don't go there." I said, "No, don't do that to my daughter. Don't ever do that to my daughter." That's not the kind of mentality I instill in them. All right, because fear is learned. Fear is learned. And so you have to consciously break out of that mode. And you break out in these ways. Number one, you find an example. One of the most powerful things that can happen to you in your life is to find someone doing something that you are destined to do. Someone who mirrors your tomorrow today. Someone, you know, who is like in your future. You know that this is what you're destined to do, and the person is already there doing it. Let me tell you this. Even if you did not decide to be brave, just the power of that example is going to gently shift you from mediocrity. It's going to gently shift you from mediocrity. And the second thing you need to do is serve. Serve. You see, with service you build experience. With service you fear dissipates. Let me tell you this. Many times fear is a reflection of the fact that you've not had enough practice. Anything that you have truly mastered, you will not be scared to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anything that you have truly mastered, you will not be scared to do. So sometimes if you're scared, it means that you need to spend more time serving. You just need to spend more time serving. So go back, serve, and at this point, you also need to ask yourself real questions. For some people, they just assume they're supposed to pioneer. Am I supposed to pioneer or am I supposed to collaborate? Let me tell you this. God will give us grace according to the assignment that He has given to us. So, if you are called to support, don't be surprised that you haven't been able to summon the courage to pioneer. You're not supposed to at all. Do you understand? And you have to be careful about that crab mentality that makes you want to do what everyone around you is doing. Be careful when everyone around you is doing something that is not consistent with what God has asked you to do, because there is that tendency for you to want to follow the crowd. All right. So, and point one, of course, suggests that you should move around people who are doing what you are called to do. So that's very important. So number one is finding an example. Number two is service. Number three is starting with the small things. I told you bravery is a habit. You develop it over time. So start with the small things. Your first program shouldn't be reboot camp. All right, start with the small things. Start obeying God, when He says you should talk to someone on the street about Him. When you're about to eat at family lunch and they say lead prayer, don't shy away from that. Don't shy away from that. All right, start with the small things. Lead a prayer in house fellowship. Start in the small things. And listen, you have to make sure that those small things are consistent. You have to find a way to create an opportunity for you to develop proficiency in the small things. All right? Because there's even a biblical principle that he who is faithful in little will be faithful in much. All right? And God is, when the Bible says the word of the Lord tried him, sometimes you just need your practice season. And then you step into promotion. Sometimes even service, faithfulness in service just pushes you into more, even if you were not expecting it. Because to whom much is given, much is required. And that's really how it is. So, if anything, I hope that the story of Celebration Church will urge people more than ever before to bravely follow God's plan for their lives. And let me say this, it's convenient to stick with the general path. Imagine I never obeyed God. The interesting thing is, none of you would have known. None of you would have known that this is what could have happened. None of you would have known that this was the path that God gave me to follow. None of you would have known that. I mean, I would just be a normal person, working a normal job. People say that they think I would have been successful at many other things. I'll leave that to God. That's not really my concern. But just imagine, hypothetically, that, I mean, I was in business, successful, and all of that. Some people might even look at me and admire that, not knowing that I wasn't walking in the will of God. And it's only in heaven we will know. I want to beg and encourage you. Follow God's plan for your life, and for me, like Paul, I do not consider myself to have attained or apprehended. But one thing I do, forgetting the things that are past and reaching out to the things that are afore, I press on for the mark of the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. There is no finish line. It's not over until it's done. I remain humble by the grace of God. I remain teachable, and we have a world to conquer. All right? Let's press on. Thank you all. Everyone who has believed in us, forgave our mistakes, encouraged us, prayed for us. And I want to say this for every one of you who is always so proud of me, proud of our ministry, talking about it. I want to say that I don't take it lightly at all. For every post, for being vocal about the things that you appreciate about us. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I mean, you're amazing. So thank you very much. 10 years down, 100 to go. All right. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow if you are a minister. Bye. Okay, just final announcements again. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Send it to someone. Send this video to someone who will be inspired, someone maybe who is procrastinating, obeying the leading of God for their lives. And after I end this live stream, please comment, share your CCI story. It's just going to take you a few minutes, all right? Thank you. Thank you all. All right.